Hi guys, welcome to Pretty Little Claws. My name's Lisa Graves and today I'm going to be showing you this acrylic design with encapsulation of glitter and some acrylic blocking. Okay, so all nails have been prepped and cuticles have been done. So I'm just going to dehydrate the nail plates, ready for tip application. Line your tip up and do a little swipe and stick. And just hold that in place for a couple of seconds. Okay, so cut your tips down, I'm just going to take a little bit off, to your desired length. And I'm just going to take the corners off, ready for me to file them into shape. Okay, so using my 180 grit file, I'm going to file these up. And I'm going to blend across the tip as well. Okay, so I'm going to dehydrate the nails again, and then using the acid-free primer, make sure you use it sparingly, just on the natural nail. Okay, so for this set I'm going to be using Natural Beige with Mega White and a little bit of Crystal Clear. And I'm going to be using the Max Adhesion monomer. Okay, so I'm going to pop down just a thin layer of the Natural Beige, just so my glitter's got a little bit of background, just because I'm not going to do completely solid glitter. While the acrylic is still wet, I'm just going to dip my brush into my glitter and just press that on while that is still wet. So again, I'm not going for full coverage. You can still see the nude behind it, and I'll just let that set for a few minutes before I cap it. Okay, so on this nail I'll be using my Natural Beige, Mega White and Crystal Clear, and I'm going to do a marble. So first things first, I'm going to pick up a small bead of the Natural Beige just up in this cuticle corner and blend that down, and then straight into that I'm going to pick up Natural Beige just with a little bit of white. Using the tip of my brush, I'm going to blend that up and then back down, and then I can very, very gently just tease that corner into place. We don't want to be blending any of these beads down because you'll mush your marble. So I'm going to go again, instead of dipping into white, I'm going to dip into clear. This will just add little bits of transparency running through the nail as well. Again with the Natural Beige and a little bit of white. So it's just a very, very small section here that hasn't got any acrylic on, tiny, tiny section. So I'm just going to fill that just with a little bit of clear. Okay, so I'm going to come back and cap this one. And then I'm going to cap this one as well. In fact, very, very small amount of glitter in here as well. So just small amount of clear acrylic dipping straight into that glitter. I'm just going to run it through just a little bit. Okay, now this can be capped. So even though the 3 powders that we've used to make the marble, they're all core powders, we still need to cap it, otherwise you'll end up filing your design out. So capping the nail with a thin layer of clear will just protect that design. Okay, so on this nail I'm going to be doing some blocking, and I'm going to leave a clear section on the clear tip to pop some snowflakes in. So I'm going to pop my cuticle bead in first. So in with my Natural Beige. And then I'm going to start bringing this down the nail. And I'm going to push my brush in up in this corner and pull the product down to the left. Start pushing in this diagonal line. Use the belly of your brush, the firmest part of your brush. But don't worry about getting this dead straight because we're going to cut into this. So I like to use dental floss and I'll give it a bit of a twist. And I'm going to dip the section that I'm going to cut with, I'm going to dip that in the clear acrylic powder, and that will just stop the dental floss sticking to the acrylic. So support the back of the nail and I'm just going to cut through that product and then drag it away. I'm going to use my cuticle pusher just to get that last bit off. And don't worry too much about anything that's left over because we're going to file into this anyway and get all of that off. So I'm just going to let that completely set before we do anything else with that nail. Okay, so we're going to do a smile line on this one. So back in again with my Natural Beige. Keep the nail tilted down, the product will just naturally start falling down the nail and it'll start semi-forming your smile line for you. So make sure that you're happy with the cuticle area and coming down your side walls. And then we can start playing with this. Again, using the belly of your brush, start pushing that product in, creating a nice wall. And try and make sure that where your smile line starts is even on both sides. Okay, so on the thumb, I'm going to do, again, just a nice thin layer, thinnish, of Natural Beige. Not worrying too much about the colour on the tip because we're going to be popping glitter on there. But I do want a nice solid colour up around the cuticle. Blend that down, keep your brush nice and flat. And again, while your acrylic is still wet, I can dip my brush into this glitter and start pressing that on. So I want it quite packed out on the tip, and then I'm just going to press that nice and gently and just bring that up a little bit like that. Okay, so on top of here as well, I'm just going to add a couple of little snowflakes. So just using a small amount of crystal clear, just in those two spots there. We can add these snowflakes. I'm going to push that into that clear acrylic so it sits in that now. Okay, so I'm just going to file this tip a little bit, get rid of that residual nude acrylic because we don't want that. I'm going to wipe over there with my monomer a little bit. And I'll help you see that that's going to be nice and transparent. Okay, using a small amount of clear just across here. I'm going to add a couple of these snowflakes and just let them set a minute before you cap them. So I can come back and cap the thumb now. Again, keep the nail tilted down. That way gravity will help you out. It'll start pulling the product down the nail. Okay, so back to these snowflakes. I'm going to get a nice dollop of crystal clear and pop that over them. Make sure you take that product right up into that corner. And I'm going to make another wall with my brush. Just give that a second to start setting. If you cut too soon, the product will keep moving and you won't get nice crisp lines. And if you cut too late, the product will have set and you won't be able to do it. If you're ever unsure, you can just press your dental floss into it and the indentation that it leaves. If it bounces back, if the product bounces back, it's too soon. But that's left quite a nice indentation. So marrying up with that line that we made, first I can pop that in and pull that product off. So I know that's left a nice neat line now. I don't need to file that up, so I can finish this nail off just with a small amount of nude. And don't worry too much if your nude laps over that, it'll come out when we file it. Okay, so this pink has now set. So I'm going to come in just with my 180 grit and start filing my smile line in, making sure that I keep my file at a 90-degree angle to the nail, just so we get a nice crisp sharp wall. Get rid of all of that dust and then just use a little bit of monomer just along there. It'll help the white just to adhere a little bit better. Coming in with the white, I'm going to put this on the tip here. Start taking that product up into those corners. I like to pull my product up over that smile line just a little bit. I do find it often gives you a sharper finish on your smile line, which you will see when you start filing it in. Yeah, so don't worry about any of this white over here. These are pretty much ready to file up now. So using my 180, I'm going to come in and tidy up my side walls first. Okay, so after I've sorted my side walls out, I'm going to square my free edge off. Make sure that you're happy with it. Okay, so coming around the cuticle area now. Make sure you use the curved side to your file. Just getting that cuticle a little bit better. Okay, now filing up and over to the centre of the nail. So filing up and over into the centre of the nail, and then same again for the other side. And now I can start to look at the nail from all angles, looking for any lumps and bumps that need filing out. Having a good feel of the nail as well. You might not be able to see a bump, but you may be able to feel it. And I'm going to give that now just a quick little buff. Okay, so using the Nail Nails Mega Gloss, I'm going to top coat these nails. Okay, so on this middle nail, just while that top coat is still wet, I'm just going to pop a couple of small crystals. So you can take your time with your application of these and move them about in your top coat. And when you're happy, I'm just going to go back in with my top coat. Butt up to those crystals. It's important that you don't go over them because they'll lose their sparkle. But just butt up to them and it'll help seal them in a little bit better. Okay, and they can go into the lamp for a full cure. Okay, so on this one I want to add a big snowflake. So I'm just going to use just I said it's supposed to be a small dollop. That's quite a large dollop. Just a bit of the clear builder gel, just because it's a little bit stiffer. It'll hold it in place.
Sorry.
It'll hold it in place. I can drop that onto there. Move that about until I'm happy with it. Just if I tried doing this in top coat, it would move about too much. Okay, when you're happy, that can go in for a cure. Don't let it slip. And then just to finish off, just to seal that snowflake in a little bit more, I'm going to top coat under it, kind of put up to the edges. Top coat down now. And just using any kind of detailer brush, I'm just going to pick up some blobs of the top coat and just kind of work this in and under and around, making sure it's all nice and smooth. And when you're happy that you've sealed that, that can go in for a full cure. So I'm going to finish these nails off with some vanilla cuticle oil. Just around there. Oh, look at them. So here is the finished design. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and all the links to the products used will be in the description box below. Thanks.